Good afternoon, everyone. Today, for Women's History Day, I have the privilege of announcing a woman who's very influential to me personally, an inspiration to me, and probably everybody that's met her, just about, and that's my grandmother, Barbara. So, when we talk about the greatest generation, we usually think about the men and women that came of age during the Great Depression, World War II, accomplished a lot of really amazing things, and sort of laid the foundation for us and modern America. With that said, I don't think it's unfair to say that sometimes the women of that generation get overlooked, sort of in the shadow of the war, right? So I'm going to talk about Barbara, who was born in the 30s, raised 8 kids. After raising said 8 kids, went to nursing school in her 50s, and did very well, graduated, became an RN. And then later, when my grandfather got very sick, unfortunately, she pretty well took care of him almost by herself. So she's a very strong woman and has overcome a lot of obstacles in her life. So with that, Barbara was born in 1935 in Barton, Vermont, very scenic Northeast Kingdom, very rural Northeast Kingdom. She grew up going to school in a one-room schoolhouse with about 15 other kids, she said. She married my grandfather Raymond in 1953. Shortly thereafter, he was stationed overseas for a number of years. My mother was born the next year in 54, so she raised her by herself for some time anyway. She waited until all of her 8 children were graduated, grown, right? And she found a newspaper clipping. The newspaper said, "Hey, you been thinking about nursing?" And she cut it out, put it on the fridge, walked by it every day, thought about it. She was kind of afraid to ask my grandfather, which was a little bit of a surprise to me because he wasn't a scary dude, but I think maybe she thought he'd think it was silly or something. Finally, she asked him. He said, "Oh, that's a great idea." So at 55, Barbara graduated nursing school, and did very well there. Later, again, my grandfather got sick. She took care of him herself. She stopped working. That was after working for a number of years at a doctor's office, school, things like that. And she took care of him in large part herself, which would take a very strong person to do. With that, now she's got very grown children that are all doing amazing things, and a lot of great grandkids. So for me, the big takeaway from Barbara's life is that I think no matter how old you are, it's never too late if you want something to go out there and do it, and that's what Barbara has always done. So with that, I'll go ahead and stop talking, and with no further ado, Barbara Perkins. Thank you.